Psalm 23 verse 4. New International Version. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Even when the path beneath my feet leads me into places that feel shadowed, uncertain, and heavy with fear, I keep moving forward step by step. The act of walking itself becomes an expression of trust. I am not frozen by what surrounds me. I am in motion, progressing through the darkness rather than being consumed by it. Each step is a quiet declaration that fear does not own me. The valley may feel deep and overwhelming, with shadows stretching long across the ground, but it is still a place I pass through, not a place where I remain. Walking reminds me that darkness is temporary. Movement carries me onward, away from despair and toward something brighter, even if I cannot yet see the light ahead. I do not walk alone. God is present beside me, not distant or silent, but close, attentive, and full of calm assurance. This presence is not stern or cold, but gentle and reassuring. A God who takes joy in guiding me, who walks with a steady, peaceful confidence that eases my fear. There is a quiet happiness in this companionship, as if God knows that no matter how dark the valley becomes, the journey itself is already leading toward safety. Because of that presence, fear loses its power. It may still whisper, but it cannot take hold. I continue walking, knowing that I am supported and protected. The unseen dangers that once felt overwhelming are now diminished by the certainty that I am not facing them alone. God's guidance is like a steady hand directing my path, keeping me from wandering too far into harm. The rod represents protection, strength that stands between me and danger. The staff represents guidance, gentle correction that keeps me on the right path. Together, they form a balance of care and security, not harsh or intimidating, but deeply comforting. There is even a sense of peace, almost joy, in the rhythm of walking alongside God. Each step becomes lighter, not because the valley has changed, but because I trust the one walking with me. The journey feels purposeful, not random, and I sense that every step is part of something meaningful. In this shared walk, God's happiness is not loud or overwhelming, but steady and reassuring. It is the quiet confidence of someone who knows the path ahead and delights in leading me safely through it. That happiness becomes contagious. It softens my fear, steadies my breathing, and gives me courage to keep going. So I walk. Not hurried, not panicked, but steady and intentional. The valley does not define me, and fear does not control me. What defines this moment is the presence of a loving God who walks with me, guides me, protects me, and finds joy in bringing me through to the other side. Even as the ground beneath me shifts and the air grows heavy, I keep walking with a quiet determination. My steps may slow, but they do not stop. Walking becomes an act of faith, a steady rhythm that carries me forward when my thoughts feel uncertain. There is something deeply human and deeply spiritual about placing one foot in front of the other, especially when the path is unclear. It is in this motion that I begin to understand trust, not as a feeling, but as a choice I live out with every step. The valley does not rush me, and neither does God. There is patience in this journey. I am not being pushed or driven, but gently accompanied. God walks at my pace, matching my stride, never pulling ahead in a way that would leave me behind. This creates a sense of safety that is almost tangible. I am allowed to move forward as I am, without pretending to be stronger or braver than I feel. And yet, as I continue walking, I begin to notice something changing within me. The darkness, while still present, no longer feels as overwhelming. It is as if the presence of God brings a subtle light, not one that erases the shadows completely, but one that makes them less intimidating. I can see just enough to take the next step, and that is enough. There is a quiet happiness in God's presence that feels steady and enduring. It is not dependent on the conditions of the valley. It does not fade when the path becomes difficult. Instead, it remains constant, like a gentle warmth that follows me wherever I go. This happiness is not loud or distracting. It is calm, reassuring, and deeply rooted. It reminds me that I am cared for, that my journey matters, and that I am never truly alone. As I walk, I begin to realize that the valley itself is not my enemy. It is a place of passage, a part of the journey that shapes me. The act of walking through it becomes transformative. With each step, I grow stronger, more aware, more grounded. Fear loses its grip not because the valley disappears, but because I am no longer facing it alone. God's rod and staff are not symbols of control, but of loving care. The rod stands as a quiet assurance that I am protected from what I cannot see. It represents strength that watches over me, ready to defend and shield. The staff, on the other hand, is gentle and guiding. It nudges me back when I begin to stray, not with force, but with kindness. Together, they create a balance that allows me to walk freely while still being guided. There is comfort in this balance. I am neither abandoned nor restricted. I am free to walk, to learn, to experience the journey, all while being supported by a presence that understands me completely. This creates a sense of peace that settles deep within me, a peace that does not depend on external circumstances. The longer I walk, the more I begin to trust the path itself. Even when it twists or narrows, I believe there is purpose in it. God's happiness seems to grow alongside my trust, as if there is joy in seeing me continue forward. It is the quiet joy of a guide who knows that I will make it through, even when I am unsure. Sometimes I pause. I look around at the shadows, at the uncertainty, at the things that once made me afraid, and then I look beside me. God is still there. That presence is unchanged, unwavering. It brings a sense of reassurance that words cannot fully capture. It tells me that no matter how long the valley stretches, it is not endless, so I continue walking. My steps become steadier, more confident, not because I have all the answers, but because I trust the one who walks with me. The valley begins to feel less like a place of fear and more like a place of growth. Each step forward becomes a quiet victory, a reminder that I am moving through, not standing still. God's happiness is present in every part of this journey. It is in the guidance, in the protection, in the companionship. It is in the simple act of walking together. There is a sense that this journey matters not just to me, but to God as well. That my movement forward, my willingness to keep going, is something that brings quiet joy. And so, I walk with purpose. I walk with trust. I walk with the steady assurance that no matter how dark the valley may seem, I am never alone within it.